The behavior problem, barking at the sound of the doorbell. This trick will have 2 levels. Level 1, the dog goes to the crate when the doorbell rings. And level 2, the dog goes to the crate when the doorbell rings and closes the crate door. Step 1, train the dog to go into the crate by running with him or simply luring him with food. Before adding the doorbell, you need to make sure your dog knows how to go to the crate. So here I'm using clicker training, and I'm clicking when the dog goes in the crate, and I'm also sometimes clicking for the dog staying in the crate. Good boy. Instead of clicking and treating, you can simply provide a yummy stuffed Kong when the dog goes into the crate. Good girl. Step 2, have a helper sound the doorbell, then run with the dog to the crate. Click and treat when he goes in. Repeat many times. Ultimately, I would like my dog to calmly go to his crate. However, in the beginning, I want to prevent him from barking at the doorbell. So I'm going to do whatever I can to motivate him to go to his crate instead of barking. I am changing his emotional response to the doorbell by providing an alternate acceptable behavior. Good boy. Okay. If you're not sure if the dog will stay in the crate when the doorbell rings, you can click and treat, move away from the crate, and then click and treat again. Do this as much as needed. Step 3. Sound the doorbell and wait a few seconds to see if the dog understands to go to the crate. If the dog does go to the crate, click and treat. If the dog does not go to the crate, say go crate or use your cue. When the dog does go to the crate, click and treat. Repeat until the dog understands that the doorbell is the cue to go to the crate. Step 1, train the dog to hold and pull a tug or a rope. Step 2, tie the tug to the crate door. Step 3, start with the dog inside the crate with the door almost closed. Click and treat when the dog pulls the door shut. Repeat this process with the door opening just a little bit more each time, and as the dog pulls the door shut, click and treat. Now have the dog outside the crate. Cue them to go in the crate, shut the door a little bit, and then when they pull it shut, click and treat. This process may take some time, and you may need to stay really close to your dog as they're learning. As they start to really improve with you close up to them, you can start to move away from the crate slightly. Maybe take 1 step away from the crate, and then maybe 2 steps away from the crate, until finally you can be completely away from their crate, and they can complete the process. Here, take it. Good boy! Now you're ready to add the doorbell. At the sound of the doorbell, cue the dog to go crate, and then cue the dog to pull the tug. You might need to start with the dog close to the crate when the doorbell rings. Remember to have a helper sound the doorbell so you can focus on the dog. Okay. Once your dog understands the behavior chain, you can fade out the verbal cues if you wish. However, what is the harm in helping your dog be successful? I would much rather have to cue the dog than have them bark at the doorbell. Training tips. Use yummy treats. Use a high rate of reinforcement and a lot of verbal encouragement. Practice many times without an actual person visiting. To prevent the dog from rehearsing the unwanted behavior, disable the doorbell and have the dog in another room when you're not home. Condition going to the crate when the doorbell rings until it becomes muscle memory. If the dog fails at any time, go back a step and start from there. Do not get frustrated, as this could take many training sessions. Go at your dog's pace and keep the training sessions short and fun. Another option is to fade out the crate and use a mat or a dog bed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now get out there and have fun training your dog.